Mm. So today we'll discuss on Informatica part, what is actually PowerCenter component, right? Like designer, repository manager, and the workflow. So I will just show you some technical part today. Then we'll in between we'll start. I'm just showing you the actual. Uh, this one I install on VMware. Like if you notice here, I install everything like Oracle and Informatica in Windows VMware machine, right? For training perspective. So if you notice here, I install these one Informatica client and server both on same. But yeah, if you go in industry, there will be two server. One is the actually server. The client is like your machine, like any laptop you are using. There you can install the client and you can do the your design the mapping and all, right? But server will be in own server by company will design that server and install that server on Linux based. Mostly company using on Linux based. For only on training property, I install on Windows machine, right? And there is in Oracle also I installed here for database connections like source and target. I just opening and going there client. Always developer will use on client, not go on server side. Only admin team can use the server if any issues kind of or any upgrade. I want to upgrade that Informatica to higher version. Then admin team can do that activity. But developer like in ETL developer as ETL developer role will always use the this component. All four component we are using and doing this concept development mapping and all. Right. So first, opening the repository manager. Actually, I just tried to explain what is actually activity behind this. Let me open. Before that, I want to just explain. Suppose we are not the admin person, but we know the how to what the activity behind this as admin. Suppose if for a small industry there and you're given the all activity to admin and ATL both. So yeah, just explaining you. I open here. Suppose what is the let me log out. Then we'll again sign up. This one is the actually admin console panel. Suppose you want to configure your domain integration service, the how you go there and explain. I use the administrator. By default, we are using the admin password because if you're going to install in your machine, then you can default administrator you can use. Uh, your choice what you want to use. Time configure the admin password. There is actually Informatica console. Under this one is the actually part of the ETL admin team. Their activity, what is activity? There is the left side. If you notice here, there is the node Informatica service. There the repository. Under repository, you notice there most of the your let me show you. These are the component properties associated repository. Okay, what is the property there? Under this repository, we have given the domain name, even the repository name. Okay, repository name you can configure by your own during the installation. First time you need to given the repository name. I can't modify that one after that, right? Repository username and the password. This one, the password you can change if you want, right? This one is the component. Second tab is the actually node details, like where you install port page. Port page you understood. Suppose you are doing in belongs to in China, right? So you want to change the language. The port page is always doing that kind of language basis. Suppose here we are selected the Windows Latin NSI means we are English keyword means all industry using the English word, right? So you then so you need to select the MS Latin kind of. If you are there in China and other places, then you can select the accordingly language. PM root directory, like where you install your Informatica. I choose my computer. There is a path is C drive I use. There is the Informatica path, and under Informatica path PowerCenter. By default, this folder is created when are going during the installations. These are the PM session directory, PM bad directory, cache directory. This one, if you using during the processing, suppose you are using the lookup and other things, then cache will create automatically. So these path is required during the process. Understood? Any question, Tanya, Ritika, like this?
No, so these repositories, there will be like many repositories created, or it's usually just one?
No, the repository already created. And just try to explain this kind of, suppose if we're going to from scratch to installation, server installation, right?
Mhm.
Informatica.
Right.
So during that, if you install, then during the installations, Informatica asks you to what will be the name of your repository, what will be the name of your domain, right? That time you give in the name, kind of this one. I
Okay.
already installed that Informatica in our machine in VMware for our trainings, right? But yeah, we are not actually this part because admin team is handle that part. As a developer, we are not touching, but some in small industries given, by the way. It's not a restriction. Yeah, we are not keeping the admin team by own because a developer can handle this one. So, but you know the what is the process to go there. So not very big thing, but yeah, only some installations we can you can just go through some document given by the Informatica uh, uh, company. You can just follow that document and install one by one. There is some steps there. But yeah, during the installation, company can give in the name, actually name designed by the as per company standard, because in repository name will be given by the company standard. Username, password you can keep as own by some special character or whatever as company norms, right? But yeah, this one is all your own things. If you notice your left side, there is the under domain. I created domain embedded, right? Under domain there is the node. Under node, if you notice there the Informatica repositories. I created there is two repository, but yeah, we use the one repository. You can create multiple repository in one domain, right? There is no issue about
Okay.
that. Yeah. So here these are the some property. If you want to change anytime, you can change. You go, if you see here the edit option, right? So you can edit there and you can change each path. If you want to change any path, you can change here. Log is also there. If any issue, like if you executed any mapping, there is some issue, you can monitor in log manually. If you want to come here, right, then you can monitor as a manual. These are the logs here. Suppose your Informatica service unable to start, right? If you start the services, Informatica services, then if not start that service, then you can view here. Suppose I started my services today. If you notice here, the date is given Tuesday, March 14, this time. The integration service, this one, info in integration service is running is normal mode. There is actually two mode, normal and um, uh, 1 second. There is actually we are always using the normal mode. We're not using the console mode, right? So always by default is the normal mode. If you want to change anything, you need to change the normal to absolute mode. So I will show you what is actually how many mode is there. If you give here 1 second. Here is the password change. If you go in manage account, you can change your current password and all other things. These are the some basic concept here. If you want to change your path, you want to swap your logs. If you any issue somewhere, suppose Informatica service unable to start, then you can see what is the issue behind this, right? Only that purpose you can use. And one thing, suppose your Informatica installation time you can use here. If you notice here upgrade, suppose you are currently working on some lower version like 10 point or 9 point, then some latest version comes in market. Your company provide you, we want to upgrade the Informatica, then you can upgrade, simply click on upgrade and use the latest password software and attach this one and then upgrade. Or you can install fresh. If you go to install fresh, then you need to multiple, mean your current repository take the backups, and that backup you install to parallel server, then some steps there, and then you can install the new software, new Informatica to other server, and upgrade your current repository with your new software, new Informatica version, so that you can validate all values, all things, all mapping with so that your data will not corrupted in new software, new mapping. Because some Informatica is upgraded, then some changes given, like some Informatica upgrade means some Informatica mappings upgrade, some security, some lookups concept change kind of, mostly, yeah, some add-ons givens in upgrades. That add-ons you need to validate first, then you can go for upgrade. So these are the some basics admin part, like how to validate. Mostly as a developer, we just only for log perspectives, right? Suppose you start the Informatica, say if not get the startup your Informatica, then you can go there and validate the logs only. If logs having so like incorrect, then you can inform to your admin team, yeah, your services is not get a startup, kindly look into this. So this kind of activity for admin perspective. Got it? Now, as a developer, I'm come back on main repository manager. I just log in here by. You told that there is actually how to connect. Suppose we go there and install our Informatica in our machine, right? How to configure our domains. So we go there, suppose here edit option, already I configure my domain, or add option. So if you click here edit, right? So there is already I configure. Suppose if nothing is there, right? So you click on add. Here is given option domain name, gateway host, gateway period. Only three information you put here and then click on OK. Then automatically will everything will configure like this here. Okay. Then
Gateway host is the server name.
which one?
Gateway host.
Yes, yes. That's one is server name. Server name.
Okay.
Server name either
So if
actually. Yeah.
if I like install this on my local desktop, so will I give like local host, or will I, like, I don't understand this, embedded to 65? How do you get that name?
Yes, you can give the anything. Actually, I configure if you here notice. Let me show you.
Oh, in the VM.
Uh,
Okay.
Actually, I install the VMware machine. Then I
Okay.
using like this. If you install
Okay,
your
got it.
machine, then you can give if your static IP, right? So you can give the
Mm-hmm.
static IP name, or you can give your computer name.
Okay, got it.
Uh, like this. But yeah, gateway port always if you going to install your Informatica, the port always will be unique because port is the very key role working on that one. If you install that Informatica, there is given some port during same port you'll use in here. If you notice here, I given come back here is domain, right? I created the domain during the domain creation at admin in the here is this meaning means checkbox means your all things is running if you your status is running, right? I'm just showing you the domain here is shut down. One second. I try to advanced property. Everything is all meaning, right? Here is error info. What is the mean? It's not by this concept is by default, right? This one I show you the normal and edit mode. The here is if you want to change anything in admin server, na, you need to just uh, change your normal to other mode. Then you can update anything. Now I want to show operating mode. There is two mode, safe mode and a normal mode. If you want to update anything at here, then you can update the normal to safe mode so that your Informatica means client activity will be blocked here only till that. If any issue here, they can resolve immediately. Now I'm just going the where is actually 2 second. Oh. Hmm. If you notice here, if node having the port during the installations, all information is given here. Port name immediate. Suppose in your industry, right? There is Informatica install on multiple machine like for a non-prod environment. I'm not talking about prod, non-prod because non-prod having the your developer server and UT developer server, SIT server, and UAT server. There are three servers, right? Suppose someone install the same port, and by the way, some in a non-prod environment using the same server, install the three Informatica and they are using the same port, it will be conflict if you in one time only one Informatica will be up, other will be down because you're using the same port. So that time you need to change your port, right? And if you notice here HTTPS port 8443, that one always will static because if you install your Informatica on Linux server, you want to see the on console this one. So you need to log in your Informatica with this port. By default, this port will be login. Then after this colon 6001, this port will use. And the host name, first is using the host name, then colon this port. Then will automatically this kind of portal you can open. So you can visualize with on console GUI mode. If on GUI mode you can see, and if your server install an Linux server, you want to view on GUI mode, then how to log in this one? Login. You can log in via this embedded host name colon. Like if you notice in Java, like local host colon that port, right? So similarly, this one is also login this via this your host name colon port name. Then you can your login portal will be open. Then you can put at your admin and password. Then you can use. Here, during the installation, we can add the port in the node basis. Other things are your Informatica key store. This one, the license key. Okay. And the backup storage. Suppose you want to take a backup, then you can. Okay. Now I'm come back on repository manager. What is the actual work of your repository manager? I'm just logging here. There's some Informatica mapping I installed. There is the repository here, left side, info repository services. So what is the use of actually your Informatica? Suppose you have developed all mapping and workflow. So you want to copy your workflow from here to there. Means you want to deploy this Informatica mapping from one server to one repository to another repository. Then that time you log in Informatica repository and open any folders and go in workflow. In workflow, if you go there, click on right click and export, right? Here is export option, and I can select any path. Just path like I'm just going on desktop. Okay. The Informatica file name is aggregator test, and the format, yeah, so always .xml format your Informatica mapping will store the. So then you can export your workflow. If you want to import anywhere, you can import easily. So Informatica PowerCenter repository manager works only for your import export process. Means you can once your development done, then you can transfer your workflow to another repository, another non-prod environment or production environment. Then you can use there. If you where from developer server, you can use the export option, and if you go there in suppose this one is production, I want to import that mapping. So I go there and import, click on import object. Then I just where is I am downloaded their aggregated it. Then you can click and click on OK. This one will be uh, downloaded here. So always like this look on, then add all field, then click like this. If here if you see if folder structure from where to their destination folder, they can click on destination folder. If it looks like the same where you want to import, then click here next, and next, then it will be here left side showing the workflow sessions mapping. There is the component, right? Workflow is for workflow designer, you can view. Session is the under workflow designer will be session also there. And and mapping, under mapping you can design your transformation mapping and everything, right? So these are the concept there. I replace or use some component you want to use, you can use, but always we are using the replace option so that whatever you changes done in your mapping, it will be replaced from current. If already the same mapping name is there in your repository, you can replace them. So these are the concept using your repository manager. This one the simple concept for import export. But yeah, but most industry not using the direct option. Most industry using the deploy via the deployment group. So you need to create the deployment group here in repository manager. If you go in tools, there is the some tools. Here is not their option, but yeah, most of the company going the deploy via the deployment group. Actually, this one is the not mode. Most of the company we are not directly import export doing the most actually, because one by one option need to create. But yeah, if you create the deployment group, the and the copy all mapping to all workflow to your deployment group, then your admin team will copy the all workflow from your deployment group to deploy to other server, right? There is the two option you are using the always through repository manager. Here is option first. If you notice here first during the add repository means if for the first time you can configure. Third option, this one is the configure domain. Import export, this option you are using for the suppose you have already done your mapping, then you can export. If want to deploy, then you can use the import option. Second option, the copy. Suppose how copy. Suppose you are using in any repository having the multiple folder wise. Why we are creating the folder? Because somewhere using the finance, there is the company having the multiple organization, right? Sorry, there is the payroll, finance, sales, another department. So we are creating the folder like this. Suppose all sales data, all sales related concept logic we have written in particular sales fact for folder. All finance related P&L related data, my general and everything, we are doing all concept, all logic mentioned in other folder like this one. and some other like payroll option, like salary, every information we are keeping in other folder like my folder. These type of folder structure we create in Informatica. And here is in third option, if you see, the folder will create from here. You can folder create from here or or in your developer mode, both places, no issue about that. But yeah, folder is folder, why folder using for the your logic segregate by industry. You can use one folder also, there is no issue. But yeah, some structurized concept you can use, so that your logic and everything will keep as a in one bundle, so that if any issue or if you want to replace that things, you can replace via hierarchy wise, like structure wise. Could not mix. Suppose I use the maplet and other thing, then if you created the structure wise and folder wise, then you can replace easily. There is no impact. Suppose any changes comes in future, if you use single folder, then you need to do the impact analysis in full entire process. But if you are using the folder wise, then you need to check only your sales data. If you impact in sales, then you can say only check the sales logic, where is the actual impact. Suppose anyone change given the changes like a new column required, new additional column, you need to first do the analysis in complete folder structure. You're very actually impacted if you are going to replace particular that column, yeah, add on column or replace that table. So where is actually impact? So that kind of things, to avoid that, so we are using the folder structure wise, so that if any change means payroll, you are using the payroll having the same logic. If you are using the sales, then sales also using the same logic. If you are using the production, then production having the same logic, and right. Yeah, copy and paste is most thing for doing the DG group. So suppose your development is done. If you go there in workflow and click on workflow, you can select multiple workflow in one go. Right? The go in edit option, then copy. And if you want to paste in other folder, right? I go there here and click on here, and the paste option is also enable. You can click. Do you want to copy this one? If you click on it, it will be start copy. Okay. I will already let me show you one copy so that yeah, I copy the aggregate mapping here, right? And want to place in this one. Okay. I click here, then paste. Already placed. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, suppose actually in just I'm taking example some real time. Suppose I have in just taking a healthcare type of domain. For doing, suppose my structure have the multiple region. I'll just taking a US type because there is the North Cal, South Cal, and Hawaii and other regions, right? So suppose you have designed one logic in one folders. As a developer, some requirement given by the business, yeah, I need to change each particular this concept, and the logic is changed, you can change for one, but it will be impact for all seven region, seven six region, whatever, right? Then if you do the changes in particular these folders, like Informatica here, right? I changes here, one mapping I do the everything, and testing UT also done in particular that folder. But everything is done, then I want to migrate this mapping aggregator test to all seven region. So I that time I use the copy and paste option. I copy the this mapping and paste it to all seven region and replace them. After that, I will create the DG group region wise. Uh, then can copy that my workflow to DG, so that admin team can deploy that our workflow changes to higher environment, right? So mostly company using the deployment group for deploy the Informatica. But yeah, there is the two option how to